Gaming Today presents Cash Considerations.
Welcome everyone to the Cash Considerations podcast. I'm your guy, Percentberg, on Twitter, Allenberg, and my man Matoy Pearson is sitting here next to me, the idiot as usual.
I mean, already taking shots, not even 10 seconds into the show, standard, but, it's Thursday Night Football. It's getting pretty bad, so I can see why he's mad. I'm right with that.
Yeah, it's just I'm watching this Giants team finally win a game, and it's just irritating the hell out of me.
2 weeks too late on that.
Correct. Exactly. Should have beat Dallas. Anyway, it's another story. We're waiting on our guy, Dave Sherapan, at SportsBK, Consig, ask, blah, blah, blah. I have no idea what his Twitter handle is. He'll be joining us shortly. He's on location in Florida. Probably going to be the Florida man that does something tonight. But we got a guest, one of our guys, as we like to call him, Vikas Chokshi. I said it wrong. Welcome to the show, my man. What's going on?
What's going on, Vic?
Thanks for having me, man. Long-time listener, first-time caller. So it's going to be fun tonight. Let's do it.
Yes.
Nice.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you get the privilege of seeing this wonderful Lovie Smith Bears hat that my man Vic is rocking. I don't want to talk about the 2010 NFC Championship game, but I might. We'll get to that.
Dave would be asking why you don't have the beard if you got the Lovie Smith cap.
Yeah,
that's
good call.
what Dave would be coming in immediately.
Good point, man. I've had one since COVID, but my wife made me shave it off. So I'll let her know that.
That's okay then, if it was her call.
She said you got to look presentable for the show. So
yeah.
If I had one of those things on around the horn, I would be like triggering down on the wife right now. Down.
Negative.
Anyway, Dave's not here, so I really don't have the shenanigans that he usually has planned. So I'm just going to go right into the formula, my friends. We're going to go to the run and shoot 7 right off the bat.
There wasn't even a formula. I watched you do nothing.
Yeah.
You just we're writing things down.
I had things prior before you got here. Don't even worry about it.
Vic,
I had to ask
Vic,
you to make him feel like he's
Vic
important.
was right there. I was giving out games, and you were like, well, okay. That's
Vic had no idea. I was completely off camera.
Listening. I know he was listening.
Let me just interject real quick to handle some business that AB missed out on. That Mo was at his takes on Twitter, and Vic from Sports Intel and Gaming Today. You're what, Doc Squad 33?
Yep, you got it.
There we go. All right,
Yep.
Proceed with the NFL, gentlemen.
Yes, this is why I don't host, ladies and gentlemen. Reynolds is carrying me as usual. Anyways, let's get to it. We got the Bears and the Rams as game number 7 in the run and shoot from least to beast, properly where the Bears offense should be rated at least. The Rams are -6, totals 45. Vic, I'll throw it to you as the Bears fan first. Do we have value in the Bears in this spot?
I think there is value in the Bears, man. We've talked about this ad nauseum, and as Bears fans, we know our offense is terrible, right? It's bottom 5 statistically in pretty much every category, but the defense is for real, man. It's top 5, DVOA, every category you can think of. These guys are showing up every week, and then the thing that I most remember right now is Jared Goff's face 2 years ago on Sunday Night Football. When they faced us, we made that guy look like he wanted to go home in the first quarter. And I think this year's defense is actually statistically better than that year's defense. So, I got some stats here. In 2 games against the Bears, he's got 353 total yards, 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 44.5 passer rating. So, again, I think this is going to be a game like tonight that we're watching, just a terrible football game, one of those 16-13 type games. And that's why I think there is value on the Bears getting 6 points. I see this line moving down a little bit come game time. I mean, you guys are the masters at that. I'll shoot it back to you, but that's kind of how I have it.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it went to 6. You're getting the full touchdown on the back end with Chicago. You brought up a lot of good points statistically of what Goff has been able to do. I'm with you on the fact that I think the Bears defense will give him enough problems to where you got to be nervous laying the 6. I lean kind of to the under in this game. I think 45 seems a little steep. You mentioned the Bears offense has been what it is. They have no idea how to run the ball, which is typical of the Matt Nagy offense. For me, like I've been as negative on this Bears team as anybody that I know of. Anything with this 5-1 record, we're beating teams that aren't good. The Rams are probably in that middle pack. I think they're somewhere between a 7 and 10 win team. I think they're good, but they're not great. So I think getting +6 with this Bears defense is a decent play this week. Matoy, what do you got?
Well, the Rams just finally played a team with a pulse and got smoked. Obviously, it was in the division, so I mean that's already a rough game as it is. But I mean they're going to play another team that like is actually winning ball games. Like I don't care how they're winning, but they're actually playing pretty well. So the Rams to lay that much seems kind of ridiculous at this point. But I really had no opinion on it. I would like to see the Rams lose all these games. So I'll have some interest on Bears on Monday night.
If you have a good day on Sunday, you're going to have Bears money line late.
I'm trying to stop betting Sundays.
Oh, wow.
But it will not happen. I'm going to continue to bet the Sundays. That's all I don't know any other way.
Has to be done.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to game number 6 on the list. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. Broncos getting 9.5 points at home, total anywhere from 45.5 to 46. I don't know what to make of this Denver team. I mean, they won against New England. New England looked terrible. Cam Newton looked like a shell of the guy he was a couple weeks earlier at Seattle when he was just throwing darts to everyone on the field. I kind of give that game like a pass, so to say. The Broncos couldn't score touchdowns. They kicked all field goals. I think that really leads me to believe that the Chiefs are going to get the job done on the point spread. Usually division games are scary. I tend to lean towards dogs in division games, but this one feels like Denver might be a little overrated coming in.
Broncos have played tough against some of the best teams in the NFL already, which is like Titans, Steelers, beat the Patriots on the road. So, I mean, it seems like as far as like from a defensive standpoint, they can hang, and I think they've played better against the Chiefs over the past couple of years. I have no stats to back that up, so if anybody's listening, that's just my game. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't stray away from the Broncos too much, even though they came off some type of ridiculous 6 field goal win against Belichick. But once again, like fading the Chiefs at any time just seems kind of crazy. I thought that was a huge win against the Bills. I don't care if the Bills got blown up by the Titans the week prior. That just seems crazy. If anyone's going to bring that up in a conversation, I'll just say just no, stop.
Are those the 3 best teams in the AFC? Because I think they are.
Yeah, I guess you can make an argument, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. Like, Baltimore scares me. Their defense has been good, but they've been very clunky on offense. I think without Yonda on that offensive line, it's really messing up Lamar Jackson and his timing. Right now, I really like those 3. The Titans and Steelers especially. I just think they're rolling in the right kind of way right now. Vic, you got any thoughts on this one? You like any particular side here or even the total?
I think I'm going to sit this game out because I've been thinking about exactly what both of you brought up, right? So until I brought up the great points of like how these Broncos teams haven't gotten blown out really, and they've played some really good squads, right? And Vic Fangio, we know him as Bears fans. His teams don't usually get blown out, right? Like solid defense. They're in a lot of ball games, but I just don't think they have the offense to keep up with the Chiefs in this spot. And again, normal years, I would never lay this many points on the road in a division game, but nowadays, like what's home field advantage worth, right? I mean, you guys know this more than me, but just a quarterback like Mahomes, I just don't see anything slowing him down right now. And I don't see the Broncos having enough offense to keep up with them. But again, Broncos usually don't get blown out. And Drew Lock's looked pretty good. Even last week, like I know the numbers don't say so, but there's a lot of drop balls and there's a lot of injuries they're dealing with. So I think the kid's been pretty solid overall. So I'll probably pass on this game. I do like the over. I think Mahomes and the Chiefs by themselves can score 30 in this game. So if the Broncos can keep up a little bit, I think it's an easy over. But I think there's a lot more games that we can talk about more worth investing our money and time in other than this game.
100%.
Yes.
I might bet Chiefs. I might end up betting Chiefs.
You just want to be all over.
I was just thinking about what happened. I was
end.
thinking about what happened last week. Like they won with 6 field goals. I'm like, if they win by fucking 3 scores, like 3 touchdowns, I would not be surprised. And once again, I just kind of went against everything I said. So that's how that goes.
Mortal hedge.
Oh man.
Yes.
Sunday.
Number 5 on the list, we got the Panthers and the Saints. Saints laying 7.5 most places, total 51. Vic, I'll throw this one to you first. Out the gate, number seems a little high to me. What are your thoughts?
I love the Panthers this week, man. I think this is a perfect buy low, sell high, kind of like one of those recency bias types games, right? Like the public saw the Panthers not be able to, do their thing against the Bears, but this is a pretty solid football team. And Teddy B, as an underdog, I mean, he's done super well every opportunity he's gotten. I think this line's a little overrated. And again, the Saints are trying to bring home field advantage back, and we've seen just how different they look at home this year, right? Without their crowd. So this is not the same Saints squad without Michael Thomas. This is not the same Saints squad without their home field. And I like the Panthers in this one a lot, man. I took them right out the gate at 7.5 just because I didn't want to lose out on that hook. And I think they're a live dog in this game, man. I really think they have a chance to actually win this game. So I'll take them. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this one, especially.
Yeah, this is my favorite game of the week. I love the Panthers. I've been high on them power rating wise all season. I still feel like that we're somehow getting these numbers from the world markets where there seems to be some home field cooked into it a little bit. And I don't really agree with it. And it's been so hit or miss. I've been speaking the Michael Thomas gospel for weeks now about how much I think he's important to that offense. Breeze looked a little better recently, but I just feel like the way that I've seen Matt Rule coach this team up, and you bring up the Bears game, they really weren't out of that game for most of it. They were kind of in it, and I feel like a play or two went their way. They still had the potential to win that one. So I'm still high on Carolina. I think somehow they're going to find a way to cover.
Yeah, Matt Rule for everything. All of it. Yeah.
Simple.
I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
He's been great. Yeah, they've been awesome.
This guy's awesome. Like, if I can catch any type of, touchdown or anything with a guy that can coach teams up well like that, I'm probably going to be in on it. It's going to be there's going to be some pain going on in this game, but it's going to get there. Panthers will get there.
Sounds about right. Hopefully that Carolina division ticket is still alive. After this game, they will need to beat the Saints, obviously, to, I think, give that some life.
What's that?
30-1.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But I think they're still good. They get McCaffrey back. Things could get very interesting.
The Pandas.
The Pandas?
No, never mind. Sorry.
Oh, man. This guy.
Sorry.
You just, literally took a panther and turned it into a panda. Realize
that's
how
what
much
my dad
gets?
calls them the Pandas.
Well, it makes sense. They've never done
He
anything.
thinks they're
These Takes Seniors had some good stuff lately.
He was on a roll today.
Yeah.
He was on a fucking roll today.
Follow These Takes on Twitter. There was some great stuff.
I saw them. They were entertaining.
He was going on. I was like, let me just eat my steak.
At Walgreens?
No, we were at the Grand Cafe of Boulder.
Oh,
Boulder
fat.
Station shout out, by the way.
You guys run that joint, right?
That's the only place we know. And then Circa, I guess.
Shout out to Boulder Station and
Maybe
the future
Circa,
Circus.
The Circus, the Big Top.
Yeah, the Big Top.
Yeah.
That's what we should definitely call it all the time.
I'm going to be calling that all night.
Yeah, I like it.
28th. The Big Top.
All right, number 4 on the list, we got the San Francisco Niners, fresh off the win against the Rams.
Easy.
Against the New England Patriots, -2. Total is 43.5. Matoy, I'm going to go to you because this was your somehow number 1 game again.
Any Niners game is number 1 from here on out.
Breaking the formula, folks.
Number 1.
Yep.
And number 1A, it's going to go under. I can see how this New England team's going to be playing out for the rest of the season defensively. I mean, the Cam Newton offense, obviously, they're going to be playing mistake-free football for the most part, but just the same thing with Brady and why Brady left. Like, there's just no weapons. You know, it's tough for Cam Newton to get a groove going, and obviously it's his first year. So I can see, you know, the Niners seem like they played pretty heavy and they took it personally, losing to the Dolphins like that. So I can see a low-scoring game for the most part. It looks like there's been some movement on the line going in the Niners' direction. I'm not trusting the Niners just yet, but in a low-scoring game, it should be somewhat fun to watch the Niners play on the road here against the Pats.
Vic, what are your thoughts on this one?
No, I agree with the under, and I actually like the Pats in this spot. Sorry, Matoya. But I think
no, you don't have to be sorry.
big recency bias, like, right? Like, everyone's going to be on the Niners, in my opinion, because of last week, and everyone's going to be down on the Patriots a little bit. But the Pats were missing some guys. They had some COVID issues, missed practice, right? They're getting some guys back. The big angle that I like in this is the Niners might be looking ahead a little bit to next week's showdown. It's a big division game coming up for them against the Seahawks, man.
Oh,
so to me,
nice call on that.
And then the Pats off of loss, right? Like, Hoodie, the man off of a loss probably hasn't left the stadium. Like, he's sleeping there and like studying crap. And like, so I don't know. I just like all of those little things, and that's why I like the Patriots in the spot.
I like that call. Awesome stuff.
I agree with Vic as well. Patriots -2 is probably one of my favorite plays this week, because I just imagine Bill Belichick like picking up his phone and being like, "You remember when you guys were up 28-3? Ha 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 ha!" Sending that to Kyle Shanahan. Like, I think there was just something wrong with Cam. I just don't think he was really ready to play last week. I think he just didn't have enough practice time, and he looked like a guy who just missed some action to me. So I think they bounced back this week. I think he makes enough plays. You know, we talked about the Niners winning last week, but, you know, Jimmy G, like, I think he threw like every pass under 5 yards. Yeah. Like, those type of things just aren't going to add up, I think, against a Bill Belichick defense. So for me, I really like New England this week. I do think Matoy's onto something with the under. I'm kind of expecting like one of those like 21-13 finals. I think the Pats win it by about 8. So I think laying 2 is a really good spot. All right, number 3 on the list is one we do not have a line on. Unfortunately, the formula did not know this, but we have Bucks and Raiders. We have no idea if they're going to play, because apparently the Raiders' offensive line may not play.
COVID.
I just think it's super weird, and I'll get you guys' take on this first before we talk about the actual like handicapping, I guess, of the game.
You about to go over COVID?
Well, like, how is it that we move certain games a week? And like, I think if the Raiders have 4 offensive linemen out, like, that seems like a reason to move the game completely.
Well, definitely not play it.
I mean, right. Yeah. Like at minimum, we're like, all right, we'll maybe play on Tuesday, and if not, we'll fit it in later in the season. Like, that's how it feels to me. But they're like, oh yeah, we'll just move the game up on Sunday morning. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, is money involved?
Always.
Okay, well then I'm not sure. I don't know how they think. I just don't know how they think, man. Maybe I'm dumb.
I've heard, so I'll chip in a little bit. I heard they had to move it up because they're actually thinking about moving it to Monday or Tuesday, but they had to clear the Sunday Night Football spot to get the game like set for like television and travel and all this kind of stuff. And then they're going to move it to like Monday or Tuesday. That's kind of the latest that I've heard.
So you think it's going to move, in other words?
So I think it's going to either be a doubleheader on Monday or a Tuesday night game.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. Like, I didn't understand. I understood why they moved it because of the Sunday Night Football thing, but I didn't understand why they just didn't already say, well, we think Monday. Like, you might as well move it to Monday and then maybe have to move it to Tuesday. And if you can't play it by then, you can't have an NFL team play without 4 of their 5 offensive linemen. That's ridiculous. That is such an advantage to the other team. It just shouldn't happen. I mean, we're moving games because Cam Newton couldn't play. So, like, we have to have an even playing field. But it's the Raiders, so this is what they do to the Raiders in the NFL. So I'm not surprised.
Eagles scored.
Nice.
Eagles scored?
Yeah, but they didn't get the 2-point conversion. Down 5.
Oh, my God. I didn't know the Giants scored.
It's right in the mix. Anyone who laid 4 is okay. Anyone who took 6 and 5.
God, I hate the Giants. They're the worst.
Are you saying? Like, this is like
great. I'm
this is
saying.
a football
Oh
Friday.
man! All right, I'm throwing you out
Football
right
Friday.
after this.
That's what this is. I look at 21-16 and I know in my head. I'm like, yeah, this is right.
All
It's
right.
funny how your brain thinks though. You're thinking about the spread, right?
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
you're
Like you see it, even if you don't know it, then you'll check and then you'll be like, yeah, this open 6, closed like 3 or 4. You're like, yeah, this is fine.
Yep, exactly.
It's all good.
All right, number 2 on the list, we have the Seattle Seahawks, undefeated Russ Wilson. Let the man cook.
Did you give out Raiders?
Wait, what?
Oh, my bad.
How can we give out a line? We don't know what the
I
line
thought you were
is.
just gonna give out Raiders on.
You just thought I was gonna do it
I was
anyway.
gonna do that if you didn't do it.
Wait, hold on.
Raiders are good. I don't care who's
Rewind.
playing.
You're going
Raiders are fine. They're
Money line.
okay. I don't know yet. This is all off a whim. I don't know. I don't see. There's no numbers. I'm
He's
just
like
saying
plus
Raiders.
4, plus 7
somehow
and a half,
Raiders are gonna
plus
get there.
12. All good.
Yeah, everything.
I don't care what.
Take them all.
I can't wait to come back.
This guy booked stuff in Vegas.
When I come
folks.
back, fuck. And yes, but we'll come back to this and laugh because it was right. Maybe. Go on. My bad. Sorry.
No, that was incredible. Vic, do you want to take a side in this game without having a clue what the number is?
Man, so I will admit I took the Bucks minus 2.5 as soon as I saw on Twitter, right, like that their O-line got sent home.
Yep.
But who knows
That's
if my bet will even stand now.
You're taking plus 6 if you see it immediately, aren't you?
Exactly. I am. Yeah. So, I mean, I liked the Raiders in this spot, like originally before all this stuff happened. Like,
Right.
it reminds me of that Saints game when they're at home and they're just playing. They're good enough as a dog, in my opinion, and they have that offense where they can score on the last drive. And so I liked the points, and the Bucks are kind of coming off of a huge win and now traveling West Coast, right? Just the little things. So I liked Vegas until all this shit happened. But like you said, I mean, how are they going to play without their entire offensive line, dude? So I don't know. But, yeah, I took them at 2.5. I got Bucks minus 2.5. As soon as the Vegas line maybe opens at 6, I will probably grab them.
This is what, so many of the guys out here do is just play middles. So that's an incredible middle you probably already have set up for yourself. Just let the game land 3 and you're smoking everything. All right, number 2, once again, the undefeated Seattle Seahawks. You like that?
Love
Russ Wilson
Love
finally getting to cook, hasn't lost a game since.
It's early.
At Arizona, Sunday Night Football, at Kyler Murray. The second coming, maybe, of Russell Wilson. Seahawks favored by solid 3.5 points. Totals 56. Vic, I'm going to go to you first. Got any thoughts on this spread or total?
This is a game I want to hear your guys' thoughts on, just because I've heard so many smart people on both sides of this game. And I can see it playing out either way, right? Like, I feel like by the time this game comes around, everyone's going to be on Seattle, and Vegas or whoever you want to call it's going to need the cards to kind of hang in there. But I don't know, man. I just don't know if, like, the defense of the Cardinals can stop Russell Wilson, man. I mean, he's like, again, I fade him all the time, and I lose so much money on betting against Seattle because I'm always like, they can't keep getting this lucky. He can't keep converting this 4th down in the 4th quarter, and I keep getting burned. And so maybe it's PTSD. I don't know, but I just don't want to bet against this guy in this game. But I see the Cardinals as they have the offensive weapons. Their D look really good. And so to me, it's going to be a really close game coming down to the end. But this is one I'll probably sit out or try to grab a live number at. So I want to throw it back to you guys. What were you guys thinking when it comes to this game?
We'll go to the guy with the Russ Wilson hair and see what he thinks.
I like the Cardinals games continue to go under at an insane pace. I don't think anybody's even talking about it. I don't know if it's the style of play. Budda Baker was insane.
No, that's my guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. You don't have to stay up to watch either offense. I mean, I guess you could watch Kyler, but if you didn't stay up to watch Budda Baker just destroy one whole team, it was insane. Like, people were talking about Dalton. I'm like, no one's talking about Budda Baker. He's like making this guy's life a nightmare. So you like a guy like this who wasn't in the Carolina game and made an insane impact against the Cowboys, and which I think all of us could have made a pretty decent impact against the Cowboys. my God. Yeah, like that's going to be a guy. That's going to be a matchup. Buda Baker against Russell Wilson. They're going to put him in a lot of spots to try to cause havoc. I mean, they had him, pass rushing just as well as covering different type of coverages. He'll be locked in. So the Cardinals defense is going to be huge. Not like we didn't have to say that against any other defense that would play against the Seahawks. But I think that's going to be the key in the Cardinals, staying inside the number, or at least winning a game like this. Easy to say, 3.5 divisional game. I think people might be taking the Cardinals off that, which I think is a little bit too easy. The Seahawks are the Seahawks, man. Just like what Vic was saying, like it's tough. You bet against Russ, you're only laying 3.5, man. Even though it's on the road, I mean that team can win by 2 touchdowns easy. Late in a game like that. So I think under is going to be the move because I think I'm leaning Cardinals for a bit, but it's going to be more of a defensive game late, in a divisional matchup like this.
I have no interest in the spread in this game. I think to Vic's point, I think there's smart guys on both sides of it, and usually that means no one really knows. I think it's just their gut more than anything. What I will say is that I think the Arizona defense looked better than they actually were last week because of how terrible the Cowboys' offensive line is, and they had a backup quarterback that can't run. One of the big reasons that I said earlier that Dak is a huge downgrade to Dalton, which the Lions did not respect, and I didn't understand it, and I thought the Cardinals were definitely the side on Monday, and it's proven correct on that one. Get one right every now and then. So for me, it's going to be one of these for the YouTube people. We're going to the ceiling play over Cardinals, Cowboys. We're going to see Cardinals and Seahawks. Russ and Kyler going toe-to-toe. Lots of points scored. I'm going to say it's going to be like 40-37. I think it's going to be easy.
Usually I'm cheering so hard for these ceiling plays, but I legitimately gave a whole under speech.
You did.
Not even 25 seconds before that shit even happened.
Yep, correct.
I knew that's how he was going to segue into it. He's like, I don't care about the spread, but look at this ceiling. Look at this fucking play.
Do you see where this is going to go?
Yeah, when it's like 30 to
Buda Baker can't cover everybody.
When it's 24-20 in the first half, then I'll call you.
Please do.
Wherever I'm at.
We'll put it on YouTube maybe.
I don't know where I'm going to be at. Sammy P going to be here?
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
That's on Monday. Well, Monday.
All right. I'm not going to.
No, he's coming Sunday.
Oh,
we're doomed. All right. Last game on the list, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Tennessee Titans. This one was around a pick and moved to Pittsburgh -1.5, and now we are at Tennessee -1. It's the classic AB hates this line game where every guy in this world has +1 somehow on both sides, just hoping for a tie or somebody to lose by 1. Total is 50.5. I got feelings about this game, but these are two of my favorite teams this year in the league. So let's see. We'll go to Matoy first because I think he has absolutely nothing to say.
Yep, zero clue. Nothing. I apologize, Vic. Okay, so my dog to fave logic of like the team that starts as the fave, or vice versa, is like a bad deal, I think, at this point. So it's Pittsburgh or nothing. That's my logic behind that. Nothing with stats or players or anything. That's how I have to do it.
Had to be done.
I have no choice.
No choice.
That's literally a no choice. That's a no choice
play?
Yeah, it has to be. Wow. I'm going to be on it at some point. I know
my God.
Nothing has been bet at all on Sunday, but a lot of these plays that we're talking about now will be played.
It's just +1s everywhere. Vic, what are your thoughts on this one, my man?
Oh, they did? Nice.
Oh, first and goal. Giants pain coming.
Oh, now you're setting up for some big time Giants pain. If something.
Oh my, the true hurt.
Reynolds, can you help this Sherapan guy get into the podcast? He's texted me like 4 times.
I know. Just ignore it. I text him. I said, hey, let's wait until the run and shoot 7's done to make my life easier on panic texting.
Oh,
nice, man. Now, to answer your question, this is a tough game, man. Like you said, AB, both of these teams are the cream of the crop of the AFC, man. And the Titans, to me, have really impressed me. They don't, blow out a lot of people, man, but that's a really good, balanced squad. And their coach is amazing. We saw what Mike Vrabel did last week, right, with the time and just mind-blowing stuff. So I actually like the Titans. I just think they're the more balanced team. I haven't been as impressed with the Steelers as a lot of people. Like, to me, that Giants game, that they could Giants were in that game the whole time. The Broncos game, they could have lost to the Broncos. They could have lost to the Texans. The Steelers, they were only up 2 points, I think, until the last 3 minutes of the game. And then the Eagles game. And then the Eagles missed a field goal. And then he had a long touchdown to cover that spread, right? So, and then last week they got Baker with cracked ribs and Landry with cracked ribs. So, again, I just think the Titans are the more balanced team. But this is a tough game, man. I could see it playing out either way.
Very good breakdown, my man. For me, I'm really torn, man. I think these two injuries that hit both teams this week, Devin Bush out for the year for the Steelers and Tyler Lewin out for the Titans is huge. It makes me scared to take points or lay points in this game because I just don't know how big those impact players being out will matter. Just in 1 week, but not alone, just 1 week, but the entire season. When Lewin was down, they brought in their backup, and Ryan Tannehill immediately got hit and fumbled.
Yeah, didn't look good.
There's definitely concern on both sides. I don't think the Steelers' pass rush will be as good without Devin Bush. I also don't think their coverage will be as good without Devin Bush. So for me, it's a pass. I think if anything, I'm looking towards the over in this game. I think both teams are very capable of scoring, especially through the air. Derrick Henry, I think, could again have a big game in this spot. I don't think that the Steelers have faced anybody with his ability to really just run downhill. So it leads me to believe I think the over is the best play. I'm not convinced the Titans will win. So I'm going over just to be on the safe side, I guess I would say.
I like over.
Okay. Nice.
I like that.
All right. Are there any games, Vic, that you see on the board that we did not include in the Run and Shoot 7 that you would like to bring to the forefront here for our listeners?
The only other game, I mean, you brought up the Panthers, which I love, but the game that I really like is the Washington football team. I can't call them the Skins anymore, man. And it might be a little recency bias, but, man, that offensive line of Dallas's is going to get killed by the WFT defensive line. I think Chase Young is going to eat, and I really think that the Skins are going to they're going to roll the Cowboys, man. So
wow.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that game because we didn't talk about it. What's up, Dave?
Boys, what's up?
The audio is incredible.
Look, Kelsey, say hi.
What's
Kelsey,
up?
say something.
Hi.
It's huge.
By the way, that was like Michael Douglas and Falling Down. Get on the rocking horse.
Vic, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Nothing. I'm good. I just got done.
Ball again.
I'll tell you after.
What was the game you were just discussing? I just jumped right in. What are we talking about? Redskins?
We've gone through the 7, and now it's just any other game on the board we haven't discussed. And he wanted to hear what our takes were on Washington and Dallas.
Vic said football
Touchdown.
team for your life. How?
Touchdown.
This has got to be the craziest ending of endings.
It's the Giants' pain.
What is it?
I think the Eagles got the ball like 4 times in the last 8 minutes. I don't know.
No, it was 3rd and goal. Then they got a PI, so that put them at like 1st and goal from the 3. Dude, I turned around, they were at the 20.
Oh, wild. Okay.
And then a touchdown off of that.
Sure.
Right, sure. Exactly.
What's the score?
22-21 currently. Pending extra point.
I hope the YouTube people are seeing this quality Wi-Fi Dave has.
Oh, it is.
It's terrible. We're hanging on by a thread. It could go in. And I certainly don't want to have bad quality audio. It's very important that we have good quality audio. So
The audio has been good.
All right, if I sound fucked up, Vic, just shut me out. Just give Reynolds the high sign, hit the mute button, tell me to go, and we're gone. What do you want?
Website for Turf, right?
Oh, it's an underground website on the air, so we can't talk about it right now. Hey, Kylie, say hi to everybody. Kylie, there's Kylie. She pitched. The other one catched. caught, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Get to sit there and watch. Yeah, it was really good.
Dave,
Washington's
your
going to
video
kill
is
Dallas.
trash. Your audio is amazing.
All right, Dave.
All right.
This isn't gonna work with you, buddy, because it's cutting in and out. The video is trash, which I could live with if the audio was good, but the audio is just butchering. So you're gonna have to sit this one out, my friend. I'll kick you out.
See ya. I'll listen to the show. Kick ass, Vic. We'll do it again when I can talk to you. See you, brother.
Sure, yeah.
Dave is the greatest. Dave's
Right.
the greatest.
Vic was asking about Washington, Dallas, and I'm not sure anyone actually gave a real play or a real insight in there. So AB,
I think we were all ducking the question, I think, more than anything. Like, does anyone want to bet money on either of these teams right now?
I know. It's going to be like tonight's game. I mean, you just don't know. But I just think there's a clear-cut advantage with that Washington D-line versus that Cowboys O-line. Like, they're just decimated.
I think you're right. However, there's something that tells me this is that game where, like, you somehow lose and you're staring at your ticket wondering how, because it was 13-10, but Dallas covered somehow. Like,
Dude.
I would really want to entertain under until I get a pulse from Andy Dalton. I think that he was probably nervous going into that game and just all the expectations and all the weapons, as they like to all say. McCarthy and company seem like way in over their head, like archaic coaches. I don't know. You got any opinion on this game?
If Zeke doesn't fumble twice and give away 14 points to the other team in the beginning of the game, then I think it should be closer than possible. Or then – I don't know if I worded that correctly.
It's a pick. You just got to pick the winner. You have to pick the winner.
I don't even know why I said anything about this game. I just felt like I needed to put my 2 cents in.
dude, Mo froze right there like his brain was buffering.
No, I didn't. I was like, what was I just saying? I was laughing at Graham Gano using a massager. My thoughts are in like 40 different places. I blame Dave. Dave.
I'll take the blame for bringing up that game.
No, I think it's incredible content that we talked about it. So no apologies.
How do you feel about Danny Dimes and 40 seconds left trying to get
Ooh.
They're gonna win.
They're going to win.
Yep.
I'll take that bet.
No.
Quickly out. All right. Any other NFL games, Vic, that you wanted?
No, that was it, man. It's
was
been a
it.
pleasure talking to you fellas. I've been watching the show all season, man, so it's been fun to get on.
Oh,
We
yeah.
appreciate it heavily, man. Like, we went on that hiatus because of whatever the pandemic, the world was ending. I don't know. But you obviously, Vic, I mean, you've been great, and there's just been a lot of people that have been kind of helping us out. And we appreciate it, man. All the tweets and everything that, you've been, talking about the show and stuff like that. It's been great. It's been good.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I don't know. I don't got much else. Probably give like a impromptu read for Game Today. Go subscribe, gamingtoday.com. Shoot a text to Howard. I don't know. Hit him up on @GamingTodayNews. Tell him you love the podcast. Tell him you want to give money to the company. I'm sure he'll be happy either way. I don't know.
Maybe Mo and Dave are big stars.
That's a top 5 fucking spot right there.
Yeah, I love it. Howard's the man.
There it is.
Appreciate you
All
coming on, Vic. Vic is on Twitter @DocSquad23. Excuse me, 33. 23 is me. @DocSquad33.
33.
Sports
Scotty.
Gaming Today.
Oh,
Appreciate
nice.
you jumping on, man.
Thanks, Vic.
Thank you, fellas. See you.
All right, everyone. I don't know. We can do the take a minute real quick. I want to hear about Reynolds in Wyoming, which I think should have been like some type of 10 episode thing on Quibi, because that now is going under. So it would have been the best show ever that they probably had.
Yeah.
So,
It could have been a Ken Burns documentary. Every time I talk to the people that employ me on this thing now, it pretty much sounds like that scene in The Departed where DiCaprio is calling trying to get Martin Sheen, and always got his Wahlberg. He's like, I'm getting on a plane unless you put Queenan on the phone. Like, I have literally gone in there every day and just been like, there's no point in me being here. I can do this from Vegas. I hate this place. Get me out of here. the woman who's kind of like the liaison for me here, like she was on the phone with like the big boss, and she was like, I get the impression that the sooner the better for him to leave. Would be the way to go.
Oh.
I absolutely hate this state so much. But before we can get bogged down into a lot of that stuff, but I did want to mention this just before we get out of here is UFC 254, Gaethje and Khabib. And AB, take the floor with this, man, because I know you got some thoughts. Because this is a sick fight.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very interesting fight, especially I think in round one. We're gonna know what type of fight I think we're in for. I made the approach like this. I think there's two ways to bet this fight to, in theory, maximize your potential. I think if you want to bet Khabib, you just lay it. You just lay it as fast as you can before the line goes higher.
I saw 345 earlier today. Like I was offshore.
Yeah, 345, 350, 360 is kind of around, I think, market at this point. If you like him, I think it's just lay it and just accept the fact the man's 28-0 and he's going to beat Justin Gaethje. That being said, if you want to gamble, which I know a lot of you love to gamble, I know this guy does. I do. I think if Gaethje beats him, I have this feeling it's because he stuffed the takedowns early and is able to gas Khabib out enough to where he can kind of stay on his feet for the majority of the fight. And if he beats him, I think he stops him in the 4th and 5th round, and you can get really good value on those two prop bets, Gaethje in the 4th and 5th. I've seen 25 and 35 to 1. I just feel like if he wins, that's probably how he wins, is he's able to stop him late. I think it's very hard for me to imagine him winning by decision. I don't think the value is good enough on him as a dog in the spot to back just him winning the fight. I don't know. That's my take. What do you think, Reynolds? Do you think this guy's got a shot? I know you've been a big Gaethje guy in the past.
Oh, I'm a huge Gaethje fan, but especially as just as a fighter without any kind of money investment at all. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, man, this one is so hard because yes, Gaethje's got the power, and to crack Khabib and really put him in trouble like we really haven't seen. The only guy that's really cracked Khabib was Michael Johnson, and then Khabib got up, wrestled him down, and then beat the hell out of him and talked to him the entire fight until he stopped him. I think that was in the 3rd, if I remember right. But I don't know that Gaethje. There's all this talk about he has the wrestling and whatnot. He's got the skills. He's an NCAA All-American. We haven't seen him use it. It's like Dan Henderson's wrestling. Like people talk about. He's a Olympic silver medalist. And it's just like he's never used it. All he has is a right hand. So what are we worrying about here? I don't know that Gaethje can stop Khabib with relentlessness. And that's – I was having this argument with a friend of mine who absolutely loves Khabib to a sickening level a few weeks back. It's like him and Khamzat are the two guys he loves more than anybody else. And the thing is, Khabib is not the most skilled guy in the world with takedowns, but he's so relentless and that he knocks you off base and then he's grabbing your wrist and you can't properly base yourself up. And I think, like you said, you're right. I think within the first exchange, we're going to kind of know here. Like Gaethje's talking about wanting to create car crashes, and I think we're looking at a car crash very early on in this thing. And to me, one of the X factors, and I'm not as big on this as I was months ago when it happened, but the death of Khabib's father. Mm-hmm. I was wondering how big a play that's going to be. And the thing with Khabib is, I thought, okay, maybe he's like super, as a super tribute to his father, right? He's locked in on this. And he's focused and he knows what he has to do, and then maybe if he gets hurt, maybe that's where it becomes a problem where he loses his bearings. But he is so focused going into this fight right now, and so locked in, talking about there's a little bit of once I get past him, all I want's GSP.
That worries me a little bit.
A little bit, but I mean, I also just think that Khabib is so dead set on this that it's almost one of those things where it's like he's gonna manifest his own destiny. And I'm a big Gaethje guy. The only way to me I think you bet this fight is for Gaethje. because I think it's the only thing you see on the value. And he's absolutely got a shot, but I don't know how you can pick against Khabib at this point in time.
Do you think though, like my angle with the whole Gaethje thing, like if you're gonna back him, I just don't think you're getting enough value at the plus money. I just don't think that's nearly enough. I think you have to get a little creative, and whether that's Gaethje, within the distance, or I think that's like if you get Gaethje by like knockout, I think you can get 4-1, and like at least that's starting
4-1s on TKO, yeah, too. And I saw the 25-1 submission, but that's not happening.
Oh, that's not happening. Yeah, exactly. So like that's my thing. Like I think you have to take more of a gamble if you're going to back Gaethje. I just don't think taking like, plus 270 or whatever it is you're getting on the take back, like that doesn't feel like enough for me to bet against Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like I think it's not worth the risk, I guess. But if I'm looking at angles of like, okay, what if he stops him late because he isn't able to take him down, he tires him out, kind of like Al did. Maybe there's a world where he wins that fight late because of the gas tank and he's consistently been able to stay on his feet. Maybe.
Well, maybe this is an in-play thing. Because like I think you said it, I said it, is that, the kind of the first exchange, we're going to know early on where this goes. So maybe, you kind of sit back and wait and see what develops on that.
Only problem there is that a smart in-play guy is going to recognize that, and you're going to see like almost a pick'em appear out of nowhere. Because if, he shoots in 3 times and Gaethje stands up and it just blocks the whole thing, that now is a different fight. I would say a few minutes into the card, like I'd be like, wow, like Gaethje's live. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with the live betting. Matoy, UFC expert, what do you got?
I seen Khabib. Khabib. I know that's got to be
out the gate.
First off, that needs to be cut up. But I seen him swimming upstream, training in Russia, like in some like cold river. I don't know. I thought that was
Rocky 9.
I was just like, I don't know how cold it is, nor like where in Russia this could be, or if it's even in Russia. But I was like, this is probably a man that I would not want to bet against. I think I seen Gaethje doing some talking head preview, which you're not training. I don't care about what you're saying. I do not care about what you're saying. Although I know he's, incredibly gifted, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to end up betting it somehow because I'm a degenerate at some points of my life. And it's obviously going to be a spectacle. So I'm just going to be seeing what you guys are saying, closing in on whenever that fight starts.
I'm going to predict that Mo doesn't bet it because it's like, I think it's an 11 a.m. start.
Oh, didn't even know that. Did not.
Actually, I think the main's supposed to be like 2 p.m.
No,
so.
I did know that, but I keep forgetting every time someone has to remind me because it's in Abu Dhabi.
You're going to be working in the morning that day, huh?
Right.
Yeah, so you're going to be like, wait, that's off the board?
I'm going to know. They're going to be like, Khabib's coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
I'm interested.
What kind of props? What are the props?
Hey, can I parlay this to Bama?
Oh, my God. I don't like how it's at 11. I don't want to go on a rant about the time, but I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. It's too big of a fight to be at 11.
It had to be done for the Russians.
Did you see him swimming in the icy waters?
I didn't, but now I want to see that.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Probably warm. He doesn't know.
Oh, man. Real quick, Reynolds, before we wrap things up and go to the take a minute that I think you already took your minute, but I loved it. What is your thoughts on this Cannonier and Whitaker line? Like, I'm surprised that Whitaker isn't a favorite. I think it's starting to move towards him as the favorite, but I mean, the Rolodex on him alone is so much more impressive than the Cannonier's. So I don't know. This price seems weird to me. Like I thought Whitaker should be like $1.50, $1.55 favorite.
Where is that? Because I don't know really off the top of my head. I looked at the lines earlier today, but I didn't really commit to memory, to be honest with you.
You could find – I know when I left work today, you could still find Whitaker at minus 105 or even money.
Really?
That just seemed crazy to me.
That doesn't surprise me just based on how much he got worked over by Adesanya. And I think there's always – you see a reaction.
But that guy is that guy. Like
exactly my point. And I've never
– prime Anderson Silva.
I've never believed in Cannonier. I think this is really – I think he's kind of on like a fluke run. Like remember when Arlovsky had like a 4-fight win streak a few years back? and people are like, Andre's back. And I'm like, he fought, some pretty trash guys. And not to say that what Cannonier fought was exactly trash, but I think.
Yeah, and there was like the drop from, he went from light heavyweight to middleweight too, which I think obviously has boosted him up to where the power is there at that level and all that kind of thing. But, you've always mentioned the Whitaker boxing. And I mean, while he wasn't able to necessarily put it into the Adesanya fight, I don't know anybody can at this moment because of how on the elite level that guy is. But that's kind of what I pointed to. I just feel like Whitaker is just such a more well-rounded guy, and I don't think he's getting the respect he deserves in this line.
I would tend to agree with that. And like I said, I think Cannonier's on like a 3-fight win streak. One of those was Anderson Silva, got injured in the fight. I can't remember who one of the other ones was, but I mean, it wasn't. To me, they were not necessarily shows of skill.
He beat Hermanson, I think, with kind of a weird punch that landed, and then it kind of buckled him, and then he just threw a bunch of shots.
And a Swedish submission guy or whatever, right? Like that's Hermanson's game.
Right.
So I don't really buy into it. Whitaker's been battle tested. I think really the only thing that in my case with Whitaker is how jacked is that chin? Because he went through those 10 rounds of war with Yoel Romero, and then, I think
years off his life.
I think he was frustrated with Adesanya in that he was out of the cage for so long, because he was dealing with a list of injuries that kept popping up. And also Adesanya's got great about getting in your head. So I don't think he really fought necessarily like Robert Whitaker. I would love for him to win this fight and do the rematch because I would like to see the adjustments getting made. And they said, Adesanya's camp said that Whitaker was a tougher matchup than Paulo Costa. They respect Robert Whitaker a ton. And I will qualify everything I say. I'm going to pull a Mo here. I like Whitaker a lot. But I will tell you this. I am cold as hell in the UFC right now in MMA. Because I didn't put this anywhere publicly, but I know we were talking about it. I like Zombie over Brian Ortega, and I feel like I should get my money back because that is not Brian Ortega who showed up. That was a completely different guy. So take that information what you will.
Man shaved his head and became a different fighter. It's incredible. I haven't seen that kind of transformation in a long time.
It was unbelievable what I saw there. That was Buffalo Bill.
Shout out. That fight wasn't close. I was like, wow, this is a different Brian Ortega. But I was a guy who really liked Ortega all the way up until the Holloway disaster. So I kind of feel like this is the guy I thought he was. Like he could redesign and figure out, like, okay, how do I beat this guy? That's who he was, I thought, as he was climbing. But clearly, who knows?
Well, Zombie's Achilles heel is spinning back or crazy elbows because that's what got him the Yair Rodriguez fight, and it's what got him here. And he said he was on autopilot from rounds 3 through 5. So that elbow changed everything.
Yeah. All right, Matoy, take a minute. What do you got for the wonderful Cash Considerations audience?
I wanted to shout out some of my buddies from the East.
Shout outs again.
Well, this one is real. The other ones, I don't know. I was just, maybe I was drunk. But no, I actually did a podcast with my buddies I was telling you about. They go by at Sin City Audible, which you can find on Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. It's my homies, Trey Jones and my boy Juan, guys that I've known. Fantasy football. I went to high school with these guys.
I had to go on there and talk some NBA preseason hype.
Yeah, they're waiting. They're absolutely waiting. Yeah, they're like, what about that guy Alan Berg? He was on Daily Wager, right? I'm like, well, he sucks. He doesn't know shit. I'm kidding. But, yeah, these are, like, good friends of mine. The podcast is great. A lot of NFL stuff, breaking news, talking about lines and stuff like that. So, at Sin City Audible, you can find their podcast on any platform. And they listen to our show just as much, man. So they said they were proud of me. I said, I'm just hanging out with other guys that I hate just as much as them. So that's basically what it came down to. But, yeah.
Makes sense. My take a minute will be, damn you, Dave, for making me host.
Oh, beautiful.
I hate hosting.
Just keep this up.
I'm supposed to be the color guy. That's just my role around here. I just try to drink a couple beers and then, say some nonsense. So
I think you did okay.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. It was a disaster. Are you kidding me? The show was good. The beginning and this, no good.
Reynolds can edit some things around.
He's not a magician.
I don't know.
I could, but
The man's in Wyoming, okay? He's just surviving
It
at this
seems like
point.
he's keeping it together in Wyoming. I feel like a couple edits should.
honestly, I'm really not. Like
This is the best part of his day, and that ain't much. That ain't saying anything positive.
Yeah, it's not much.
You guys, I will say this. I don't want to get too sappy because we can leave that for Dave. When
Emotions are coming. Tears.
But I will say this.
Killing the Zoom
You guys
immediately.
you guys have really helped me get through this thing because I vent to you guys where I'm just like this place.
Well, if anybody understands your hatred for Wyoming, it's this guy. Worst state of the union.
Any type of comedy is good.
Oh yeah, especially like truth.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, we're gonna sign things off. Thank you for Dave for missing the show.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you to Matoy for being here.
Miracle.
I hope you enjoyed the Doritos Logos tacos.
Awesome.
And Reynolds, my man, always keeping it together, as Dave likes to say, the glue guy. And check out at Gaming Today News. Go to gamingtoday.com for all the YouTube videos. Check out the subscription options and to check out all these fabulous authors they have. Our man Vic is now one of them. I am one of them. Gave you the over in the Lomachenko fight last week.
Bang,
so
bang.
go get it. All right. Thanks, everyone.